Good morning, students. Up to the last lecture, we are studied about the Hope's experiment, okay? Anomalous behavior of water. For the study or realize the anomalous behavior of water, there are we see Hope's experiment, okay? Now today we have to see next topic, that is the dew point and humidity, okay? So directly go toward point dew point. First we have to see what is humidity, okay? So actually humidity, this topic you are maybe already studied in the previous classes, okay, in the geography subject, okay. There are maybe you are studying. If you are not studied, then no problem, we will see what is actually meaning of humidity, okay. So now our planet Earth, okay, if we study planet of Earth, then there are, we see that 29% of this planet are land is there, okay, are covered with land, and near about 71% of this planet is covered with water, okay. So around our Earth, in planet Earth, 71% water is there, okay. So we know water is get evaporate, okay. In the summer season, we know due to the high temperature, very fast evaporation of water takes place, okay. So continuously evaporation of that water is takes place, okay. So due to that, what happen, whatever the evaporation takes place, due to that evaporation the water's vapors are get entered into our surrounding environment, okay. So if we study our surrounding environment, our surrounding air, then there are, we are always find somewhat water vapors are there, okay, and that present due to what, due to the evaporation of water, okay. So due to continuous evaporation of water, its vapors are present in our surrounding environment, okay. Due to that water vapors, what happen, our surrounding air become moist, okay. Due to the presence of that water vapors in our surrounding air, that our surrounding air get moist, okay, and the moisture in the air is simply called humidity, okay. So humidity means what, simply the water's vapor presence in surrounding air, okay. So we know due to the presence of that water vapors in our surrounding air, what happen, air become moist, okay, air become moist, and that moisture in the surrounding air is called humidity. What, the moisture in the air is called humidity, okay. So we know generally there are, we see, okay, lot of waters are present in the dams and rivers in the rainy seasons, okay. But now as the temperature increases up to the end of summer season, okay, so generally no doubt about that, somewhat water we are used for our somewhat industrial use, household use and whatever uses, but above that most of the water is get evaporate, okay, due to the flat surface of water, and we know in summer season the temperature is very high, okay. So due to that, what happen, lot of water is get evaporate, okay, and that vapors we know that are present in our surrounding environment, our surrounding air, okay. So due to the presence of that air, what happen, our surrounding air become moist, our surrounding air become moist, okay. So what happen here in case of humidity, we know due to the temperature, what happen, our surrounding water get evaporate, okay. So where it goes, that evaporate water, okay. So it present in our surrounding environment, okay. So due to the presence of that water vapors in our surrounding air, air become moist, okay, and that moisture in the air is simply called humidity, okay. So you have to know is the definition of humidity, okay. What is humidity? That is the moisture in the air is called humidity, okay. So this humidity is a very important concept, okay. By studying humidity of water, okay, we can predict about the weather. Okay, we can study weather by using this concept humidity. Okay, if the humidity if in a air is very low, then we can say that temperature is very high. Okay, if humidity is very high, then we can say that temperature is very low. Okay, so the difference of temperature and the weather we can very easily study by using this concept humidity. Okay, so that not actually part of our study, but this humidity definition is important for us. Okay, so what that is, the moisture in the air is simply called humidity. What? Moisture in the air is called humidity. Okay, and we know moisture means that is the what? Simply water vapors are present in our surrounding environment. Why these water vapors are present in surrounding environment? We know that is due to the evaporation of water. Due to the presence of that water vapor, surrounding air become moist. Okay, and moisture in the air is simply called humidity. Okay, so definition of humidity is very simple, that you have to note down your notebook or you have to remember it. Okay, now we have to see next point, that is the dew point. Okay, so next point we have to see, that is the dew point. Okay, so directly go towards the definition of dew point. We have to see some points. Okay, so we know that in our surrounding air or environment, what happen? Water vapors are present. Okay, so now if one question came in our mind easily, that how much water vapor can contain our environment. Okay, for the some limited study, if you consider some limited air. Okay, so I take some limited volume of air. Okay, suppose 1 meter cube, that much air I contain for my experiment. Okay, and I add water vapor in that much 1 meter cube air. Okay, so if I continuously adding water vapors in that air, okay, then how much water vapor that air contain? Okay, so how much water vapor in a given volume of air contain is depends on the temperature of air. Okay, so that is the one important factor we have to know, that affects the amount of water vapor in the surrounding air. Okay, whatever the water vapor contained in a given volume of air, that depends upon the temperature of air. So this temperature is important concept or important point that affects the water vapors amount in the given volume of air. Okay, so look at here. Okay, so we know, suppose I contain 1 meter cube of volume of air. Okay, so here one point is that it depends on the temperature of air. Okay, so suppose somewhat room temperature, suppose 30 degree is the temperature of that air that I have to use for my study. Okay, so I continuously adding water vapors in that particular air. Okay, so that depends on the temperature of that experimental air. Okay, so if I continuously adding the water vapors in the surrounding air. Okay, so at that time what happen? We know that depend on the temperature. Okay, so we are consider 30 degree is the temperature of the our surrounding air. Okay, so there is a certain limit, that much water vapor can contain that much given air at 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, if you still add the water vapors in that air, then that air does not contain that added water vapor. Okay, what happen about that extra water vapors, that we have to see in dew point. Okay, but here we have to study that one important point which it tells us. Okay, whatever the water vapor contain air at a given particular temperature is fixed. Okay, suppose 1 meter cube is the air that I consider for my experiment, okay, and temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, okay. So at 30 degrees Celsius for 1 meter cube air, its amount is fixed, okay. That much more amount of or exceed that amount, what happen, water vapor does not contain in that given air, okay. So here one thing we have to clearly understood that what the how much water vapors contain in a given volume of air is depends on the temperature of air, okay. So temperature is one important phenomenon here, okay. So at a particular temperature, if we added, okay, continuously water vapors in the air, at that time what happen, okay, we know at a particular temperature its limit is fixed, that much water vapor can contain air in given certain temperature, okay. So if we continuously supplying water vapors at that time, at that particular temperature, what happen, we know amount is fixed, water vapor amount is fixed, that much maximum amount of water that air can contain, okay. So still we adding water vapors above that amount, then air does not contain that extra amount of vapors, okay. So generally if we are added sugar in the water, that experiment we are also see in the concentration, okay. What happen if you add very small sugar in suppose 100 ml water, okay, then what happen, if you stir it, then what happen, that sugar can dissolve in that particular water, okay. So what happen again, after dissolving of that very small quantity of water, again we add sugar, then what happen, again we stir it, then it will what happen, it will dissolve in that water, but still we add, okay, still we continue this process, then one point will come at which that sugar does not dissolve in the given volume of water, okay. Same way in case of sugar, what happen, if you continuously adding sugar in the water, then one point will become, at that point sugar does not dissolve in the given volume of water. Similarly for a given volume of air, if you add water vapors in that particular volume, then at a point come, okay, where that air does not contain that water vapor up to somewhat limit, okay. Water vapors will be add up to somewhat limit in that given volume of that air in particular temperature, but if we reach that limit, then after that whatever the water vapors we will add in that air, that water vapors does not contain in the volume of that air, okay. So that point, okay, or that condition where what the water vapors, if we adding continuously water vapors, and at a point what happen, that maximum limit of water vapors is reached, after that the added water vapors does not contain in that particular volume of given air, okay, or the amount of water vapors up to which the water vapor does not added in the given volume of air, such air is called saturated air, okay. What saturated air, so here we have to use analogy of that sugar experiment, okay. So that you have to remember, okay. What happens there, we continuously adding sugar in the water, if you try to dissolve and continuously adding sugar, so one point will be reached where sugar does not dissolve in the water. Same way if you continuously adding water vapors in the our surrounding environment, okay, so at one particular temperature what happen, that a capacity of our surrounding air is full to add moisture in it, further you supply water vapors to our surrounding air, then that water vapors does not remain in the our surrounding environment. Okay, so that much maximum maximum water vapors holding capacity of air or maximum amount of water vapor, okay, that much that can be contained in a given what the air, given volume of air, that air is called as a saturated air. Okay, means this is such a type of air where if you supply some hot water vapors, then that vapors will does not add in the air. Okay, that water vapors get again convert into the liquid, that is the dew. Okay, that we will be see in later point. But here we have to see in a saturated air what happen, this air is full of water vapors. Further that what happen, water's vapor does not add in that air. Okay, so such a air is called saturated air. Okay, okay, so we know, we studied saturated air. What happened, the definition of saturated air tells us that when maximum water vapor are contained in a given volume of air at given temperature, that air is called saturated air. Okay, what happened, at a particular temperature, given volume of air contain maximum water vapors. Maximum means what, higher amount, up to further that amount added water vapor that air does not contain. Okay, that will be convert into the dew, that we will see later. But the definition tells us that saturated air means what, when a maximum amount of water vapor air contain at a given temperature. Okay, if particular volume of air at a given temperature contain maximum water vapor, that air is called saturated air. Saturated means what, full. Okay, after that air does not contain any added water vapor. So now we study one point that tells us that how much water vapors we can add at a given volume. Okay, that depends on the temperature of air. Look at the example. Okay, at 40 degrees Celsius, okay, if you take 1 kilogram of dry air, okay, 1 kilogram of dry air, then it contain maximum 49 gram of water vapor. Look at 40 degrees Celsius, 1 kilogram dry air contain 49 gram of water vapors, maximum amount. Okay, after 49 gram, that will does not contain water vapors. Okay, that all water vapors get convert into the dew. Look at 20 degree what happen. Okay, at 20 degrees Celsius, that 1 kilogram of dry air contain only 14.7 gram of water vapor. Look at the maximum water vapor containing capacity of air. Okay, that depend on the temperature. Look at, if we take same amount of air, that is the 1 kilogram, okay, at a 40 degrees Celsius and 20 degrees Celsius, then there are, we see that how much difference is there. Okay, we know water vapor contained in our surrounding air is there. Okay, there is no doubt about that. But as the temperature changes, that amount of water vapors present in surrounding also changes. Look at the 40 degrees Celsius, maximum 49 gram water can be present in the surrounding air. Okay, means at a 49 gram air becomes saturated. After that, water vapor does not contain at 40 degrees Celsius 49 gram, and at a 20 degree what happen, maximum 14.7. Okay, maximum 14.7 gram of water vapors can contain in 1 kilogram of dry air. Okay, so after 14.7 gram, whatever the vapors we add in a water, okay, at a 20 degrees Celsius in our surrounding air, then that all water vapors get converts into the dew. Okay, so you have to remember here what is the saturated air, and this point is also important. How much amount of water vapors contained in a given volume of air is depend on the temperature of air. Okay, what is the saturated air? Saturated air is what? Simply the maximum water vapors present in the air. That air is simply called as saturated air. So such air in which further more water vapor does not added. Okay, so that is why we call this saturated. Okay, and look at this difference of temperature. 1 kilogram of dry air at 40 degrees Celsius that contain maximum 49 gram. Okay, means at a 49 gram, when we add to the 1 kilogram at 40 degree, then it will become saturated. And at a 20 degree, what happen? For 1 kilogram of dry air, we have to add 14.7 gram of water vapor, then it will become saturated. So that is the difference of temperature on which this proportion of water vapor that are present in a surrounding air is depend. Okay, so this difference you have to look at of a temperature. Okay, due to the temperature, what happen? This saturation of air changes. As the temperature changes, saturation of air changes. Amount of water vapors that must be add or need to saturate air, that simply depend on the temperature of air. Look at this difference with the help of this example. Okay, and look, and also remember the definition of saturated air. Now we have to see dew point. What is dew point? So now next topic we have to see, that is the dew point. Okay, one concept there are study, that is the saturation of air is depend on the temperature. Okay, if the temperature is high, then it contain more amount of heat to saturate, and if temperature of air is low, then it will need very small amount of water vapor to saturate itself. Okay, so now suppose if you take unsaturated air, okay, of particular temperature. Okay, so now initially temperature of air is 30 degrees Celsius and which is unsaturated. Unsaturated air means what? If we add water vapors in that air at 30 degrees Celsius, then that water vapors will be added in that particular air. Then such air is unsaturated air. Okay, and saturated air, what happen? Further water vapor does not added. It is full of water vapors. But suppose we contain a air 30 degrees Celsius which is unsaturated, means in which water vapors may be added. Okay, so and if we decrease the temperature of this air, okay, we know as the temperature is high, then we need more water vapors. Okay, as the temperature is low, then what happen? The water vapor needs very low as compared to the high temperature. Okay, so if we decrease the temperature of this air, okay, so what happen? So somewhat water vapors are present in that air at 30 degrees Celsius. So as we decrease temperature of that water or temperature of that air, at that time one point will come. Okay, at that point this air automatically becomes saturated. Okay, we know what somewhat water moisture, that is the humidity, is present in that air. Okay, so as we decrease temperature, then what happens? We know at low temperature we need less water vapor to saturate air. We see at 20 degree just 14.7 gram and 40 degree 49 gram. Okay, so that is the difference of temperature. So as we decrease temperature of the air, then at one point air become automatically saturate. Okay, automatically saturate. That temperature where air becomes saturate, okay, air become saturate, that temperature is simply called as a dew point, okay, it's called dew point. What happened? We have to take initially unsaturated air and we have to decrease its temperature. As we decrease the temperature of unsaturated air, then we will find that as we decrease the temperature of air, then one point will become at which air automatically becomes saturated. So the temperature at which that air becomes saturated automatically, that temperature is called dew point, okay. So what happened after dew point? Automatically what happen, air or water vapors present in the air start to convert into dew, okay. We see there are that example of dew, okay, in November, December, okay, where temperature is very less, okay. So there are, in that season, there are, we say that at early morning temperature of air is very less. At that time water holding or water vapor holding capacity of air is very less. So throughout the day temperature is high, so water vapors contained in air is very high. But suppose after night, at early morning, okay, what happen, the temperature of air automatically decreases. Due to the decreasing temperature, what happen, the excess water vapor present in the air get converts into the dew, okay. So such a way that dew point is a point at which what happen, water or air automatically become saturate if we decrease the temperature of air, okay. Further, that temperature what happen where air becomes saturate, that temperature is called what, dew point, okay. So the next topic we will see in tomorrow's lecture. Thank you.